Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to end the video. Another paid request for Walker. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, PayPal is usually the best bet. I do have a Cash App and a Patreon because people have asked me about those. All that is down in the links down in the info box, either under or below or beside these videos. It could be for any topic, commentary, reaction, review, video game playthrough, let's try, whatever the case may be. And I'll get to it as soon as I can. Thank you. So Walker wanted me to react to his rankings of the Jason Voorhees actors. As he puts it, please read these notes. I will. Number 7, he has Warrington Gillette, Part 2, the only Jason I'm not a fan of, but don't hate. The sad kid look is the least intimidating compared to the others, but it was unique. Well, to be fair, Warrington Gillette didn't really play him, except in one scene. That was really Steve Dash who played him. Warrington Gillette took the credit because he was the guy that you saw with the unmasked. But really, Steve Dash played Jason for most of that. So just Warrington Gillette took the credit when he only did really one scene. So I don't know if Walter knew that, but it's really Steve Dash that played him in most of Part 2. Number 16, Kirsten in favor of Jason. He's been accused of being robotic, but he still looks great and scary. I disagree with that. I think he's the worst one. Number 5, Richard Brooker. The scene where he takes off his mask is iconic. Number 4, Kane Hodder. He used to be number 5. But I appreciate him a little more on the second thought. Number 3, Ted White, Part 4. Number 2, C.J. Graham. I love how he was a Marine and he played the role as such. Also, the scenes of him slowly following people, looking over Sleeping Girl and walking away are iconic. Number 1, Derek Mears, easily the number 1 Jason I would want to see again. I love his Jason. How do you rank these? Number 1, Ken Gerstner, he's last. He's absolutely last place. I hate his Jason. I hate how he looks like the mask doesn't fit him and his clothes look like crap. I hate the way he walks. I hate how lanky he is. He seems skinnier than the others, and Disney wanted the more Frankenstein monster aspect. Ronnie Yu did, and I'm sorry, I just do not like that Jason. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the way, again, with the eyes. I think he's the worst looking Jason. I really do. My favorite would be Kane Hodder. I think the look he has in Part 7, The New Blood, and the way he played it, where he's like more pissed off and angry, and he'll turn and he'll go towards it. I think that's the best Jason has been. And plus the look John Carl Buechler gave him. Easily Kane Hodder's number 1 for me. Plus the fact he was able to play him multiple times and accentuate those moments. Kane Hodder's definitely number 1 for me. Number 2, I'll go with Derek Mears because I think he had the most potential and he got robbed. I really liked his Jason, just how vibrant and energetic he was. And you could tell in interviews he loved playing the part. And he seemed like such a nice guy. Maybe that's also why, just in real life, he seems like such a nice guy. That he was robbed. He should have been able to play Jason like 3 more times at least. And the fact he wasn't able to because all this stupid arbitration, lawyer shtick, that's the crime. He gladly, I guarantee, would have loved to play Jason multiple times. And he, whether people like or dislike that movie, I like that movie. He did a great job. So I would love to have seen him play it more than once. And he was robbed. So, number 2, I would go with Derek Mears. Number 3, I would go with Richard Brooker. Does that Jason just seem like the more insane maniacal with how he's trying to rough up the girl? Is like, does he want to kill her or does he want a little bit of a But Donkadonk, does he want a little bit of his tip wet, his dipstick wet, He seemed like the more horny, more insane one. Even at the end where she's visualizing, he's like jumping around, oh yeah, I'm gonna get you, that type of thing. So I would say part 3 for Richard Brooker, may he rest in peace, for that element. Number 4, I'll say C.J. Graham. I did like his military walk, so I did not mind him. Although I've heard he's a dick in real life, which is too bad. But as Jason, I did like him. I did his military stature. So I'll put him as part 4. Part 5, I'll say... I'll go with Steve Dash. I mean, you say actors, but then you look at you're talking about the look of Jason. Okay, well that's the difference between the look of Jason and the acting of Jason. And granted, I've fallen into that as well. But as I mentioned, one, Kane Hodder because of the way he'll turn and look and how pissed off it seems. 2, Derek Beers were just how energetic, intense he was, and this Jason that would move a bit quicker and faster than the others. Again, number 3, I mentioned Richard Brooker, where he seemed like the horniest, maybe the creepiest. Number 4, the military stature of C.J. Graham. Number 5, I don't put Steve Dash because how just on the move he was, especially in the fight he had with Amy Steele. He was just on the move, and you didn't know where he was going to come from, and I don't know, just something about the way he portrayed it where I think his stunt credentials definitely helped in that. And because I was still a Jason that would move a bit more fluidly, I don't know how else to word it. I thought Steve Dash did a good job. Maybe because I like that part 2. I think I wouldn't say it's underrated, but I think part 2 is better than the first one, honestly. So maybe I'm just giving a bit more love than I should to Steve Dash, because he got screwed over by Warrington Gillette. So maybe that's also part of it too. They may not be fair, but it's my list, so fuck fair. Then I would put Ted White and Ken Kirshner. I have nothing against Ted White. He did a good job as Jason. But for me, there was nothing to his performance that I didn't see done in either Richard Brooker or Kane Hodder, like the other guys, but they have a little bit more uniqueness to them. Ted White was good. It's just, the kills and the mask did the work, and he was kind of just there for me. I know some people, Ted White's their favorite. Maybe it's the favorite film or the gore, but it's just out of the way he played him. I don't know. I thought Richard Brooker kind of did that, but at his own, those little moments that made him seem more insane. And I can't really think of other unique moments that Ted White displayed, if that makes sense. But he definitely had the build for it, I'll say that. But other than that, what made Ted White stick out from the others? I can't really think of much. That doesn't result in talk about the kills, which is not what this is about. Or the hockey mask, which, like part 3 was a good look at hockey mask, but I thought the hockey mask looked good in part 7 and part 6, and maybe not so much part 8. Because it looked like someone pissed on it, it's piss yellow. But yeah, I mean, my list would be Kane Hodder 1, Derek Beers 2, Richard Brooker 3, C.J. Graham 4, Steve Dash 5, Ted White 6, Ken Kirshner 7. And of course, part 5 is not the real Jason, so unless you want to count those visions Tommy had. So, I mean, you just say the worst one is Ari Lehman, whatever the hell his name is, in part 1, where he was just a kid who drowned. That's it. But he's like, oh, I'm Jason. I'm like, no, you're not. You're a guy who knew the director. You were friends with the director's kid, or whatever the hell the reason you got in. And you got some makeup on. You pretended to do something for 5 minutes. Okay. You're at the right place at the right time. He didn't really do a whole lot, so give me a break, man. Come on. Just saying. That's just me, though. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.